This is the Tom Bigby Tales, and I'm your host, Shannon Evans. I write about a small town in northeast Mississippi on the Tombigbee River called Columbus, and sometimes I write about the rest of the state. I must tell you, I had another podcast episode set up for today, totally different script, until I was recently sent a letter from Heritage Academy from the headmaster to the parents of eighth graders. But let's dig in. Heritage has completely lost its primary focus, which is high moral standards and academic excellence. The leadership has failed the children of the school academically, morally, and athletically over and over and over under the helm of Sean Harrison, head of schools. Two administrators left under ethical challenges, allegedly, and one of those departures resulted in a negative emotional and academic impact on the entire middle school, where this person taught the seventh and eighth grade. That would be Yandel Harris. And today, the incompetent leadership of the head of schools has exposed that since that educator administrator's departure, the students have had no actual instructional continuity, resulting in those students not going to be able to have a semester exam in a core course. I'm going to read the letter. Eighth grade history semester exam. Parents, we have decided that our eighth grade history students will not take a semester exam next week. We did not feel that we could provide a fair assessment due to the teaching changes that have occurred this semester. Students are exempt from the exam and do not need to attend the time slot for their history exam next week. As previously announced, Ms. Peyton Wright begins today teaching eighth grade history. We are excited to welcome her. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you, Sean Harrison. Well, I have a lot of questions and concerns. Parents are paying almost $9,000 a year for their child to not have measurable contact hours since the departure of Yandel Harris Halloween week. How is this not an immediate concern with the school board? Board members Paige Spears and Kevin Stafford and board president Justin Garner all have children in the middle school. Justin Garner has a child in the eighth grade directly impacted by this event. Are they okay with this lack of long-term planning and implementation to meet the needs of the students while they were without an eighth grade American history teacher? Harris surely left his old teaching notes and old lesson plans, as he had been teaching that same course in the same school for many years. What did they do? Did they use parent volunteers to warehouse the children since Harris's departure? Stick them in study hall? Have a revolving door of substitute teachers? They have had more than a month, apparently with no instruction or assessment that can be worthy of a competent member of the history department, taking the student's textbook and creating an assessment. There are two highly competent social studies educators on faculty that I personally know who could have been paid extra to create lesson plans and assessments for any substitute in that class. Mr. Bill Gates and Miss Linda Simpson are both content matter experts who care about the children and their education. Gates even teaches American history in a mainstream high school course at the school, as well as is a dual credit teacher at Heritage for American history, teamed with EMCC. Did anyone consider that? Or was it easier to just warehouse the kids and throw their hands up and not do what was in the best interest of the students' academic future? I wonder what the MAIS and the state would have to say about this. Will Heritage self-report this mess? I mean, I think the kids are supposed to have like 120 contact hours or more to get credit for the course. At least two board members clearly knew this was happening to this group of learners. Let me correct that. At least three board members clearly knew that this was happening to this group of learners and yet still allowed it to happen. Did they contact the rest of the school board? Did the parents know anything about this before this letter, that they weren't getting continuity in their education for their student? Had parents expressed their concerns over the lack of a teacher and the long-term impact that would have on their students? Who is managing the manager at Heritage Academy? The manager of the school is the head of schools. His job, his only job, is to ensure that the children have an academically excellent learning environment. That is his primary focus. Is this more of that Heritage Academy academic excellence that everyone's been talking about? I'm not impressed. Or is this more of how Heritage adults in charge of decision making treat their hashtag family? While it is great that the school has hired a new teacher finally to replace Yandel Harris, the choice is yet again a young person who has just finished their undergraduate in history in 2022 and has been working on their master's in history since, whose quote, primary field of study is 20th century U.S. history. However, my passion is modern civil rights and with a concentration in the gender aspect of the movement. I am part of the Phi Alpha Theta Historical Honors Society at Mississippi State University and served as the past social media coordinator in 2023-2024. This is per her MSU Studies page biography that she is currently working there as a graduate assistant. Wonder how those interests in gender and civil rights will play out in her presentation of the curriculum at Heritage Academy with eighth graders and how that will go over with the parents there. Huh, that'll be interesting. It does not appear that Ms. Wright has any pedagogical training in teaching middle or high school history or in the psychology of that age group, classroom management or instructional design coursework, etc., much less a student teaching portfolio. If I were a parent of an eighth grader, I would be asking some really tough questions of her and the headmaster about this hire and how they plan to help her be successful as a brand new teacher coming in after Christmas. Yowzer. Middle school students are a tough audience for even master teachers. So, back to where are the trustees and why are they not making sure that the education of all children at this school is the focus of their work? Why are they allowing the school's previously high academic achieving reputation under Dr. Greg Carlisle to be sullied since football coach Sean Harrison became head of school? What the devil is going on? Parents are paying a high premium to ensure their children are getting a equally high level college preparatory education. Are the parents or the school board afraid to do the right thing so that their own children and their businesses are not targeted by the cabal that currently runs the school? If you saw my daily emails and text messages, you would know that the current environment is one of fear. Teachers and parents are afraid to raise warning flags or be a whistleblower because they know that they will be fired without cause and or their children will be singled out by administrators and other teachers and bullied and victimized. Hashtag family has now taken on a sinister meaning within the walls of that school. Every parent at that school should call and email every member of the Board of Trustees and call for the resignation of the head of schools, Sean Harrison. Someone should start a petition. Harrison needs a no confidence vote ASAP for allowing a teacher to retire to the detriment of the students and not implement and not immediately have a long-term qualified substitute to implement in place of that teacher. Go to www.heritagepatriots.com /about us I guess that's / Let me repeat that. Go to www.heritagepatriots.com /about -us /school -board and find every member of the board listed there. Justin Garner, an eighth grade parent, is board president. Kay Regenball, board vice president, parent of a high schooler. Suzanne Cunningham, secretary, parent of a high schooler. Kirk Hardy, Paige Spears, ex officio, again, parent of a middle schooler. Jim Wilson, board attorney. Ricky Johnston, Robbie Upton, Michael Putt, Jason Woodard, Richard Hurd, Hope Durst, Luke Yateman, and Kevin Stafford are all board members. I encourage you to reach out beyond the headmaster and voice your concerns. Until next time, this is Shannon Evans with the Tom Bigby Tales.